effect that people like you being able to guide the younger generation into the future that we hope all of us will have for a better country. But going back to talking about you as our benefit of hindsight, given the experience you've had and your contribution to nation building, when you look at the Bola Tinubu's administration, what will be your immediate assessment? I know you've made some remarks in the past recently, but what will be your immediate assessment as to say, these are the things that I think is going right, these are the things I think can be modified, or these are the things that should be jettisoned?
Well, I mean, you know, that is the subject for a PhD thesis. And I think all I can say very briefly is that, first of all, this government must respond urgently to the issues of the day. And from wherever you are, the issues of the day are issues of massive impoverishment of Nigerians, the incredible hardships that Nigerians are going through. You can see the frustration on the faces of people. You can see the frustration on the faces of families, husbands, wives, children. Now, the cumulative impact on this, on the society itself, are immense. Now, I am convinced that this government has some lofty ideas, and it could probably, and I'm hopeful it will do great things for our country. But I think there is a total absence of a coherent and a cohesive and a constructive strategy of engagement. And I'm talking here about engaging the citizens of Nigeria. This government very urgently needs a communication strategy and a deployment of certain kind of metaphors. And those metaphors relate to the visible presence of the president, of the vice president, in different segments of the Nigerian society. Because what we need now is something to convince Nigerians that there is light at the end of the tunnel. And that light, because not every light at the end of the tunnel, it could be the light of a running train. So, but that there is this light at the end of the tunnel, and all we need to do is to be a little bit patient, because better days are coming. I think that conversation has not been effectively and efficiently crafted yet. But I see from such massive developments like the local government, the Supreme Court judgment on local government autonomy. I see the conversations around the tax reform bill, again, as I said, about which I know almost next to nothing. But I think that we are nudging our country and our people to a slightly different direction. But how we get there and how we retain our people's attention, that is something that this government needs to pay urgent attention to. You know, the business of people who are communicating for government is not to abuse, is not to take issues, is not to just make announcements. There needs to be a constructive way of engaging government. You know, so when people call themselves government spokesmen or whatever, it's not about telling Nigerians. It is also about engaging Nigerians. It's not about thinking that your business is to hold the fort and make sure that nobody dares to have any view that is contrary to the view of government. So we need to understand that people are governing on our behalf. And like they say in Hausa, you can't borrow my mouth to eat onions. Governance can only be effective if there is a channel of communication, and the government has the right antenna to hear how the weakest segments or the weakest link in the chain, it's surviving. And this, I think, is one of the major things that is missing. But we need to have an idea. Now, we're hearing little stories here and there. We are happy to hear about the return of the refinery in, is it Port Harcourt? It's very great news. But I think the government needs to segment a lot of this to let people understand that perhaps by Christmas or by next year or by the middle of next year, these are the kind of things that we should expect. If we have an idea of that, then it will help us to bear the cross.